Hi everyone. In this video, I'll explain disk scheduling algorithm. Disk scheduling algorithm in operating system optimize the order in which disk requests are serviced, aiming to minimize seek time and improve overall disk performance. So here we have a scheduling is nothing but multiple files we are retrieving from the hard disk to main memory in order to proceed with the execution and all. So when we need multiple files from the hard disk, so in which of the sequence it is required to take those files from the hard disk to main memory, that which sequence it will be optimizing, it will increases the performance of the system, that we need to find here. For that purpose, we have a different patterns of scheduling. So these patterns only we are going to study as a disk scheduling algorithms. So here we have a total 6 types of the disk scheduling algorithm. Each one we can notice with the example and we can compare which one it will be efficient here. So before diving into these algorithms, we will have a different key points related to disk scheduling. One is a seek time, rotational latency and transfer time and disk access time. So these are nothing but the total time taken to retrieve the file from hard disk to main memory. In order to transfer the file from the hard disk to main memory, what total time it will be taking, that we are dividing into different segments. One is the seek, rotational latency, transfer, as well as disk access. So before understanding these, we will have a clear idea about the architecture of the disk here. Once we know the structuring of the disk, we can understand it very easily. So here we have a disk structure that initially hard disk it will be divided into number of circular forms. Those are called as tracks, or we can say these are the cylinders here. So initially it will be divided into tracks here, and each of the track it will be divided into sector. So now here we can notice these are the sectors, and one of the sector area, this is the sector area here, and this which it has been shown in the highlighted form, this entire area it is a sector. Once again, this sector it is divided into the small parts. Each part it is called as a block. Usually unit of allocation in the hard disk is a block because we are allocating the files in the hard disk. Like in main memory, we have a unit of allocation. It is a bit as well as bytes. But in hard disk, the allocation it will be of the block. Means whenever it is required to retrieve any of the file. Suppose for example, now in order to execute one of the program, we need some 4 to 5 files. So one file may be allocating here, another here. Randomly, it will be allocating somewhere in the hard disk. Then read write head. Here we have a read write head. This read write head, when the search it is given, it will start scanning the entire disk here. By scanning, wherever it will be tracking the files required, that it will be retrieving and it will be transferring. So this scanning and retrieval in different pattern it is. Each pattern it is considered as an individual algorithm. So in order to search that particular file where it is allocated, first it has to go for finding the track or cylinder in which of the track the file it is allocated. That is the first identity. Once it is identified the track, then within that track, what is the sector, in which sector it is allocated, whether in this sector, that it will be finding. So after by finding the sector, in that sector, which of the block is allocated with the file, that it will be finding. So here we have a total time to retrieve any of the file. First, it is required to find out the cylinder or track in which it is, that it is called as a seek time. And here, after by finding that track, in which of the sector it is allocated, that it is called as a latency time here. Here we can notice seek time, the time it takes for the disk arm to move to the correct track. In which of the track it is allocated, that to find how much time it will be taking, that time it is called as a seek time here. Means track finding. Within that track, in which of the sector the file it is allocated, that it is required to find. So for this, how much time it will be taking, that is called as a rotational latency time. So after by getting that particular sector, in that sector, which of the block it is allocated, that it will be identifying, and from that block, it will be transferring the file from hard disk to that of the main memory. That is called as a transfer time here. The time it takes to transfer data from the hard disk. So disk access time is nothing but sum of all the three timings. That is seek time plus rotational time plus transfer time. All together it is called as a disk access time, complete time taken to access the disk it is. So this is how it will be finding the file here. So this time, how much it is taking, based on that we have a different algorithms and efficiency of the each algorithm it will come. So based on this, we have a different algorithms here. First of all, we have a first come, first serve. The name itself it is giving here. Which file it is coming first, that service will be given first from the hard disk. So here we have a just in this example, we can notice total 200 tracks are given. So 200 tracks are given here. And the files which we need to find out here, the sequence of the files required for the execution are these, that 82, 170 and all. That here we have a sub files are given in the sequence. And here the sequence, these files may be allocating here and there. In some of the tracks, it will be allocating track location. Okay, and here we have a read and write head. So initially this read and write head, it will be resting in one of the point. That point it is noticed with this one. Initially, head start is at the request 50. Now just you can assume this is a point where it is resting is the 50. From this point, it is required to go on giving the service for these required files. So how these are allocated based on that it will be giving the service. So first here we have a first come first serve. How this service it will be given means we have to find out the total seek time for this sequence. That here we have a service how it is given that it will be finding with this diagram. So initially what is given here, disk having 200 tracks. 200 tracks means we have to divide it 0 to up to 199. Total 200 tracks are there. Within those tracks, we have these are the files required. The request of the files will be in this sequence. And this is a first come, first serve. So how the request it is coming in the same sequence, it has to go on giving the service. So initially, where is the read write head? Read write head, it is in the 50. That read write head, it is allocated in the 50 here. So 50th track. So here it has to start seeking those remaining files. Service it has to give here. So initially read write head, it is in the 50. So 52, first service to which it has to give for the 82. So 82 it will be giving. After 82, it is for 170. So here we have a 170 service it will gives. And after 170, it has to go for the 43. Again, it will comes back here, 43, it will be giving. And after 143, it has to go for 140. This is 140. And here we have a, this is 24. A service for the 24 it is given. After 24, it is a 16. And after 16, directly it will comes to 190. This is how it will be giving the service. So these are the files in hard disk that read write head. It will be scanning like this, and while scanning, it will goes on giving the services. So then what is the seek time taken for this? Just we have to find out the difference here. Now initially it is a 50, 52 where it will goes 82. So 82 minus 50. What is the difference it will comes? That is the length. That is the number of cylinders it is transferred here. That is the seek time it is taken. That it will be given here. 82 minus 50. Here we have a 82 minus 50. Then next here we have a 82 to where it will comes 170. 170 minus 82 that we have to add for the previous. That is the length of this. Then next again here we have a 170 to 43. So difference between this 170 and 43. 170 minus 43 we have to add for that one. This is the time taken to transfer from here to here. And again from 50 to 150 it is. So here we have, this is from 43 to, it is up to 140. So 140 minus 143, that it will be taking. This is the distance here. And again from 142, it will goes to the 24. So here we have a 140 minus 24. And from 24 to where it will go? 16. 16 minus 24. Means always we have to maintain the positive distance, the biggest number minus smallest number. Then finally here we have a 16 to 190 it is. Now here it is a 16 and this is a 190. 190 minus 16. Then what is the total time taken for this here? 642. By adding all these differences, the total cylinders transferred in order to give the service of all these files in this sequence, it will be of the 162. This is how it will go for the first come, first serve. In order to give the service of all these files, the seek time taken from first come, first serve is 642. I hope it is clear to you. And further algorithms, we can continue with the next video. Thank you for watching.